Hello, and welcome. This 10-minute video discusses and shows examples of how tourism organizations can empathize with their customers. Generally, we assume that empathy is a positive phenomenon. However, there are positive and negative aspects included in it. In this video, we discuss how empathy can be digitalized, and how it can be applied in digital touchpoints and service moments. The voice in this video is using an artificial intelligence power voice in a program called Natural Reader. The reader profile is 0. The video recording is finalized with the Screencast-O-Matic program. Both programs, the Natural Reader and the Screencast-O-Matic, are available online. The links to the programs are presented at the end of this video. First, I ask you to make a memorable trip to your experiences with the help of this example. I wonder if you have ever felt frustrated when you are seeking travel information online. After a while, you start to ponder how to connect with a human to get answers to some specific questions that affect your decision on the destination. Let's imagine that you cannot reach anyone but a chatbot. The chatbot is trying to answer your question, but says in the end, "Sorry, I cannot help you, I will connect you to a human." The previous customer journey sounds somewhat empathized. Here you are forwarded from the chatbot service to meet a customer servant for further individual discussions. Imagine another kind of situation, where the chatbot shares the same web link with you that you have read earlier. Or, at the worst place, does not share or suggest any further steps for you to proceed. Would you continue shopping with a service provider who serves you this badly? I would not. Now, let us proceed to discuss some basics of empathy in interaction. Empathy is not an emotion, but rather a reaction to another agent's experience or emotion. As an example, when you share your experiences and emotions, an empathetic agent reacts and tries to assimilate your internal state, like living alongside with you. An empathetic agent, a tourism service provider, is trying to assimilate what you are thinking, sensing, feeling, and experiencing. The ability to empathize is based on one's own background, like the environment where one has been living, how one has learned to meet people, how one is capable of social interaction, and so on. The approaches to empathy are several. In this video, the applied dimensions are cognitive, affective, and dark side empathy. In cognitive empathy, one has the capacity and ability in taking the perspective of the other. Practically, this means that the tourism service provider walks the digital customer journey, in the customer's shoes, by observing and evaluating the experience with the customer. At the same time, the service provider observes and evaluates customers' actions and reactions. The key is in understanding and perceiving the mental state, and understanding what the customer is thinking, feeling, and experiencing. Affective empathy has another name as well, namely, emotional empathy. Reflecting its name, in emotional empathy, the agents are sharing emotions with each other. Emotional empathy is needed in digital service encountering, when willing to interact socially, and form relationships. As a matter of fact, the key to emotional empathy is in sharing emotions equally, trusting, and valuing an open atmosphere. When reflecting affective empathy in customer relationship management, it is present especially in long-term relationships. There the base of relation is built on several contacts, and trust is formed over a long time period. Does empathy have a dark side or a negative side? Actually, yes it does. The dark side empathy takes place when someone morally misuses their capability of cognitive empathy, for self-interest purposes. For example, in digital encountering, when the customer is not pleased with the service or product, they may inquire the service provider to break the rules or regulations to get compensation from the company. Another perspective for the dark side empathy is a heavily empathetic customer servant. Namely, being strongly empathetic is stressful, makes one feel tired, and in the end even cynical. These two dark side empathy examples show that it is important that the tourism service provider defines rules and practices on how to act when recognizing the presence of dark side empathy. There are several relevant contents that need to be involved when thinking about empathized customer experience and how it is formed. Applied to the service design methods, the digital customer tourism journey consists of touchpoints like devices, channels, applications, and programs. These technological interfaces form points and locations where we interact. Easiness to use with smooth functionalities are examples how users define technology that supports their experience and is found empathetic. The actual service moment describes the time, as a temporal dimension, that we share and interact at the touchpoint. Though the journey and touchpoints are the same, the service moment is affected by the human elements in each interaction moment. Depending on the mood and feelings, sensitivity, or urgency, the cycle of the service moment with the touchpoint changes. This means that there should be several touchpoints to use, based on the need at each moment. Tourism service provider can manage own touchpoints. However, there are some that cannot be managed. Namely, influencers, like blog writers, deliver information of the tourism company that cannot be managed directly. One way how to affect on influencers' experiences is to trust and hold on company's own service promise and deliver them brand-based service quality. Empathy should be present in each tourism touchpoint and service moment, defining hospitality, friendliness, and willingness to help. It does not matter whether the agent in providing service is human or non-human, and whether the touchpoint is physical or digital. Concentrating on the service moment, listening, and sensing makes the customer feel important and valuable. It is recognized and acknowledged that artificial intelligence technologies, like augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR, mediate and provide experiences. When using AR or VR, the customer is immersed in the service as they use multiple senses that strengthen the experience. Actually, immersive technologies empathize with the customer as they deepen their understanding of the service. For example, when pre-experiencing tourism service or product, the decision of the purchase is easier for customer to make. They gain a better and brighter insight into the service or product instead of pure imagination. To finalize this video presentation, I give you an argument to ponder. Can a social robot, a chatbot, use cognitive empathy when serving customers? How do you see it? Namely, it is true that we humans are the ones to program these technological servants. However, the human brain is so complicated that artificial intelligence is not ready to replace humans. Maybe one day this will be true, though, as the experts of artificial intelligence and machine learning say, that the journey will take some 20 years to come. The voice in this video is applied by using an artificial intelligence power voice in a program called Natural Reader. The reader profile is called Zira. The video recording is finalized with the Screencast-O-Matic program. Both programs, the Natural Reader and the Screencast-O-Matic, are available online. The web links to the programs are presented on this slide. Here are the sources used for this video. Now, it is time for me to thank you. It has been a pleasure, and I hope you are inspired by the content. Thank you.